Good morning and welcome to For Fantasy's Sake, the Quad City's first and only fantasy football show. Welcome to Week 15, where our wives are tired of fantasy football. I am your host, Dougie the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I am joined by Chris, I am the elf, Steele. Michael, I am the little kid waiting for Christmas, Sicoli. And of course, we have DJ, Mrs. Claus, Jarvis. I used that same joke last year.
I thought I'd be Frosty the Snowman.
No.
Chris does kind of resemble an elf on the shelf.
Okay.
Then
you have a jolly happy soul.
Chris is the only one without a beard. And while I was coming up with this morning, I was trying to decide whether I wanted Chris to be the little kid or to be the elf.
I'm ready for Christmas, Doug.
Where's your beard, man? You need to grow a beard.
Pass. Then I do look like an elf because it's going to come in and it's going to be red. So anybody who has a red beard automatically falls into elf territory.
That's not true. Mine's red on occasion, and nobody accuses me of being an elf.
Well, that's because that's from when your wife punches you in the face.
Yeah.
Wow, domestic abuse jokes live on For Fantasy's Sake this morning.
Yeah.
What's your shirt say, DJ?
Oh, so it's a need for Top Gun joke with it. So it's got Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce, and Damian Williams, and then Mahomes down here at the bottom. And it says Kansas City. I feel the need for speed. I bought it for myself.
Guys. Sorry, I gotta go.
I bought it for myself for the Super Bowl last year.
Chiefs.
You asked.
I thought it was going to be something fantasy related. I thought it was going to be like a cool bracket or something where you were going to be like the top arrow is going to be pointing up to you as like a champion or something. And then it's just Chiefs related, which is just a bummer.
It's Chiefs colors though, Chris.
I know, but it looks like it's white and red.
Yeah, but he knows I love the colors red and gold. My high school is red and gold. So, I mean.
Iowa. A little bit, kind of.
What?
Iowa too, a little bit.
Iowa State.
My bad.
Iowa is your black and.
Oh yeah. I didn't even know that.
And
we're wannabe Steelers.
Yeah, I think of that every single time I see them. I've been on. That's all right.
And then Bettendorf is wannabe Iowa.
Accurate.
That's how that goes. That's that pecking order. All right, Deej, how many people we got left to sign up for DFS today?
So I was a little preoccupied this week, so I forgot about it till yesterday. So we were a little late getting it started. So we have 8 spots left, but so we're 10 of 20, so 8 spots left. Top 5 get entry into our raffle. Victory lapping the fact that nobody beat me last week, because I started Miles Sanders.
That's a good poll, BJ.
And I won some real life money last week too.
Wow.
Yeah.
How'd you do in our fantasy matchup, DJ?
You beat me. I was really hoping they didn't put Deontay Johnson back in.
Nope, they had to.
That's all right. I'll give Chris the beatdown this week.
But then I was glad they put Deontay Johnson back in, because my $50 buy-in league, I have him, and I won by less than a point. So, because Big Ben and James Conner couldn't get it done.
Hey, yes, you lose one battle, win the war. You win close.
Yeah, go for the money, DJ. What are you worried about my matchup for?
I ain't worried about it. You brought it up.
Just because I'm going to bring it up for a year doesn't mean that you should be worried about our matchup.
You still bring up the time you beat me in the 3rd place game in that one league.
I didn't remember that at all.
I know. I'm just kidding. I remember it.
I thought I decided to tank in that league because you told me like the day before we played that 3rd place didn't get any money. And I was like, what's the point of any of this?
And then you beat me.
I did. Yeah.
That's hilarious. All right. So on to real fantasy talk. What is your championship play today? What's the one lineup move that you think will get you into the title next week?
Starting your studs. I am anticipating Travis Kelce to carry me into both my championship games. Actually, I'm going to lose in one of them, but and
The obvious.
Deontay Johnson catching the football.
I'm on my end. It's Terry McLaurin. I'm sticking through it. I know he's been down for the last 2 weeks, but I'm all in this week. All right, I have him in a lot of formats. I've been a Terry guy ever since he came out. You got Dwayne Haskins there who likes to hyper target him. I don't care. I don't care that he's given me 4 receptions in the last 2 weeks. He's gonna get it done. I'm sticking with the guy that got me here. Sticking with the guy that's been a value. He's gonna win me a chip. I really hope.
Right now, I'm just feeling Cam Akers because the only thing that was really holding him back was chances and touches. And if he's going to get that kind of usage that he got last week, then he's going to be a guy who can take you all the way.
I think in all legitimacy, like non-stud wise, and I would say Deontay Johnson's a must-start guy anyway. I would say Jonathan Taylor is kind of my guy that I haven't played a whole lot in the last couple of months, and he was starting to turn it on before the COVID game that he didn't get to play, and then he was a stud the last week, and so he's a guy I've got in my lineup this week, and hoping he can have a big game, but not too big because I'm playing him in the other semifinal. So
That's magical. He's got to get between 13.83 and 14.21 range.
Well, so like it's really weird, and I had seen somebody talking about it on Twitter, where they had all of their guys done at noon, and his opponent was going to have one guy done at noon. And I actually, in both my leagues, I think one of them, 7 of my 9 players play after, so no noon players today. I had Jones and Adams last night, and then I'll have 7 of them play 3:25 or later. And then my opponent will have one guy left. And then in another league, I think 7 of my 8 guys play afternoon, and 6 of his 8 guys play at noon. So he'll be done. I'll be chasing guys all day, and I would rather watch my lead dwindle away than have to chase somebody. That always makes me so nervous, because it's like every bad thing your players do is going to doom you.
DJ likes being in the clubhouse instead of having to like win it on the course.
I do.
See, I'd much rather chase. That's just me, though.
You still have the opportunities. You feel like you're in control of the situation.
Yes. See, I have to be in control of the situation guy.
Oh. Well, how do you feel about Mitch Trubisky, Doug? Would you be playing Mitch Trubisky when he's thrown so many touchdowns last 3 weeks?
And he traditionally does well against Minnesota.
If you're trusting your semifinals to Mitch Trubisky, you got some issues. I mean, that's.
I mean, I got issues anyway.
Well, hey, if you're streaming quarterbacks all year, why not take a shot at him right now?
Yeah, I suppose it would depend on who else is out there or what my other options are, but I guess that's one of those go big or go home kind of calls.
Well, on the flip side, non-quarterback, we're in a situation like, so if you own like James White or Sony Michel with Damian Harris out, are those guys you're trusting in a semifinal?
No, definitely not. If I had to choose one, it would be Sony, because I think he gets carries. James White's going to be a free agent. I don't know what's happened this year, but he's going to be a free agent. He'll probably be gone. And they got to see if they have anything left in Sony Michel. And he's the guy who's going to carry the ball. So maybe as a deep flex, because just based on volume, kind of how we somewhat viewed DeAndre Washington last week, but it's that low tier of guy.
Who, not necessarily on your rosters, but who's a guy who, I know this is jumping segments with this phrase, but who's kind of like a dart throw, a guy who's not on your roster, but you might consider starting if you're say you're playing a team that's loaded and you want to get a high ceiling guy. Who's a guy you're kind of take a shot in the dark at this week?
It's a good question. I think Eric Ebron is somebody that I would think about. It makes a lot of sense that he would start to turn it on around this time of year. I think I like his athletic ability more than anything else. If there's going to be Big Ben scrambling around, there's going to be chances for Ebron to be in the red zone and get those opportunities. And he doesn't drop it a lot, which is good.
Ebron drops plenty. I can't stand him, but I'll put that aside. He's been great for Harris. But my deep throw is actually one of my deep picks. I'll speak deeper to it later. But Danny Amendola, who has really stepped up when he's on the field with Kenny Galladay out. Saw 7 targets last week, reeled in 6 of those. He's going to be a PPR value. He plays against that good matchup. He's not owned anywhere. It's barely owned in DFS purposes. I think in full PPR formats, that's a very sneaky start. That maybe if there's some random COVID test that pops up this morning, or you got hit by some injuries, and you haven't been deep all year, Amendola's out there if you really want to.
I kind of am concerned with Stafford's injury designation. Not that if he doesn't play, I kind of wonder what Chase Daniel is able to do, and if they just kind of try to run the ball a little bit more too.
Oh yeah, it's a Stafford only exception there, but I think they're trying to have him out there. I don't know how. I don't really know why, but he's going to be out there. I think that means a lot of quick throws to the slot. So that's going to be Danny Amendola. You get the ball out quick, so maybe that's also a DeAndre Swift thing, and maybe all downgrade for Marvin Jones. But getting the ball out quick, that's typically favors the slot guy.
Yeah.
Chenault's another one that I think is kind of a sneaky play because he got 11 targets last week, which is ridiculous for him because he was a ghost last 3 or 4 weeks. All of a sudden he gets 11 targets. So maybe that means that something's working there with that kind of relationship he has going with the QB right now.
You love your Jags wide receivers.
I was actually going to say Chark, so I'm with Chris.
Yeah, it's always kind of interesting. So are you playing it safe if you're in the semifinal, or if you're playing, like I said, a loaded team, are you kind of taking a few more shots because you're quote unquote playing with house money?
I think if I'm a semifinal team, I think I'm pretty damn good anyway. So I'm probably dancing with the ones that brought me. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not going to make a radical change unless like I had Julio and Michael Thomas was my 2 key pieces. Then I'm rolling the dice. But if most of my lineup is there, I'm doing what I normally do.
So you're 6-7, got in as the 6th seed, won last week. Now you're playing the 1 seed who has, I don't know, say they have DK, Kelsey, and Kyler. Are you taking a few more chances to try to sneak some points, like starting a boom or bust guy over starting, that consistent, guy who gets like 13 points? Would you prefer to start a guy who's between 8 and could have an 8-point game, could have a 22-point game?
Well, yeah, that's where I think that's the luxury we have with Week 15 of having these Saturday games or having these Thursday games where we see what just happened. We can change our decisions based off it. Where I'm not going to play a Danny Amendola if I just play Josh Allen and Josh Jacobs. I don't want 8 to 12. I need 15 to 25 or 0 to 25, honestly. So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, I'm not really sure the boom bust options out there, but I would be leaning away from an Amendola if I just played stacked guys and I'm facing that number 1 seed, like you said.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think this time of year you play talent over the matchup because you can make yourself crazy playing the matchup instead of trying to play the most talented player that you have on your roster. DJ can attest to this because he started a Josh Freeman.
Nate's not even hearing the Josh Freeman story. Still getting DJ.
Doug, take us to commercial.
Nope, DJ, tell it.
All right, so short story. Went undefeated.
No, we want the long version.
Had an undefeated season in my family league, And Josh Freeman was playing New Orleans, who was historically bad at defense that week or that year. And my normal starting quarterback, Matt Ryan, was playing the Giants, who were top 5 defense that year. Well, Matt Ryan threw 3 touchdowns in the first half, and Josh Freeman turned the ball over 5 times in the first half. I ended up losing my matchup by like 3 points, and Josh Freeman scored like less than a point that week, and I lost my undefeated season. So there's story time with the Deej.
That's right.
That was a great story. We need to hear more of those. DJ's heartbreaking losses. Should be a regular segment.
Hey, Doug, how about Odell Beckham Jr.? Take us to commercial.
Oh, my God. Yes. All right, commercial time. Here we go. Sunday is still the best day at Kavanaugh's Hilltop Bar and Grill. While your favorite jamokes aren't on the deck talking fantasy football and freezing their butts off, they're still one of the best places in the Quad Cities for your football viewing pleasures. Their back deck is ready to go for late season football. The sides are up, the heat is on to protect you from Mother Nature, where you can enjoy the Bears, the Packers, or any of your other favorite out-of-market teams on their 10-foot screen. If outside isn't your thing, you can head into their remodeled inside bar area and watch the NFL Sunday Ticket on their numerous screens and play their adult video games. I hear they have the loosest slots in the Quad Cities. That's Kavanaugh's Hilltop Bar and Grill, 1228 30th Street in Rock Island, the non-bubble home of For Fantasy's Sake. We are no longer a PG show, but we are still saying frick at For Fantasy's Sake. Frick's Tap, that is. If the Davenport side is more your style for your football watching pleasure, head to Frick's Tap, 1402 West 3rd Street, where they have 20 beers on tap. Beer isn't your scene? That's okay. They have $3 you-call-its during all of the Sunday football games. Frick's has the NFL Sunday Ticket on all 13 of their TV screens, so don't fret if your team is playing on the West Coast this week. So for Frick's sake, head into Frick's Tap today. All right, so big news of the week. One, Mr. Drew Brees is back under controls in New Orleans, just in time to take down the Kansas City Chiefs.
You got to sing it, though, Doug.
Sing what?
The headline on the shot sheet.
My Breeze is back. What song am I supposed to sing that to? What tune?
My Breeze is back and you're gonna be in trouble. Hey, yeah, my Breeze is back.
And the viewers have left.
Yeah, look at those numbers just drop.
I thought you were gonna go with like, you can't. Breeze is back, baby, or something like that. No,
You don't know
DJ.
You don't know the song from like the 50s or the 60s? My
Yeah, I
boyfriend.
know the song well. I was thinking like Eminem.
Not Breeze got back, DJ.
What?
Not Breeze got back.
Oh, my Breezy got okay. That's not bad.
I like big scores and cannot lie.
Taysom Hill can't be denied.
And whatever people who were watching him are now officially gone.
So are you guys willing to play if you own Drew Brees, are you willing to take a shot at him this week?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Even without Michael Thomas, yes.
yeah. Tua got it done last week, losing a weapon in each single drive. So I think Drew Brees could definitely get it done just by giving it to Kamara, by using Jared Cook, who the Chiefs can't guard tight ends. There's plenty of matchups to like here. The Chiefs have been good at guarding the wide receiver this year, so I think there's plenty of other strengths that Saints have. Touched on Drew Brees alone, who I saw before from, I think it was Diana Rossini of ESPN, that they've been planning for Brees to go all week. This is like we'll see how he doesn't practice, and like this was since Monday. They were like, okay, Brees is gonna be our guy this week. We're gonna script it around him. This is a must-win game for them. Really, this is a big statement game to keep that 1 seed with the Packers winning. I think you could play him.
I think you were kind of in the situation where I felt Brees was going to play because I don't know that the Saints could have won this game with Hill at quarterback. And I think Brees does give them a legitimate shot to win, but I don't think they would have with Hill.
I don't like the way that Breeze was playing previous to the injury. I think there's going to be some rust to shake off here. I would avoid it. It depends on what other options you have at this point. But I worry about if they're going to try to toggle back and forth at some point in this game too, where they're going to have like a Taysom Hill package that cuts his passing attempts down from 30 to 25 or 25 to 20. And that's a concern for me because then that limits the amount of times that he's going to get chances to throw touchdowns. And so maybe Taysom Hill's going to be the quarterback in the red zone. We don't know what that dynamic is going to look like at this point. There's a lot of unknowns, and it's a big gamble, especially in a week where you are probably looking for more consistency from the guys at the top.
On the real football side, I feel like this is a solid week for the Saints to have brought Breeze back because the Chiefs haven't got much pass rush, so you're not really worried about him getting destroyed. I say that now, and now Chris Jones is just going to go insane, but which I'll be fine with. But yeah, I think this is a good week because you can limit the hits with how bad the Chiefs pass rush has been.
I think it tells you a lot about the Chiefs as a whole, where Patrick Mahomes can have one of his worst games, and you still are in clear control of that game throughout. That just tells you how powerful that offense is at this point.
Yeah, I regretted not taking whatever the line was when the Chiefs were down 10-0. I regret not getting in on that.
That Saints defense is also going to look to rebound after being embarrassed by Hurts last week. That's going to be a great thing to watch all around. I think the Saints hang in that, and I think Breeze keeps them in it as well. I mean, it feels like the last drive type of game, honestly. Like, I don't think that the Chiefs win in hand. It feels like maybe they're down by a score, and Breeze has to lead them back, and that Taysom Hill can't do that. So,
yeah.
I kind of feel like a lot of these games, I really don't know what's going to happen, and I kind of agree with you that it's going to be a close game. But the Chiefs also have this tendency to jump out to a 3-score lead right away and then just kind of play consistent like they did against Tampa Bay, where they jumped out to a huge lead and then they had to hold on because they apparently thought the game was over at halftime.
Probably you don't have a run game to slow the clock down.
We have a run game. We just choose not to use it, Michael. Where's your run game?
I've been using that line all year.
Where's your run game?
We have a run game. We just don't choose to use it. That's what it is.
Also, before we jump into the rankings, am I the only one that didn't realize there was a game actually on Christmas Day?
Yes, you're the only one that did not know that the Saints and Vikings play on Friday.
Okay, good call.
I didn't know that, Doug.
You're going to be watching Wonder Woman anyway.
I am, but I can schedule the Wonder Woman around the football.
You don't have to schedule it. You just turn on HBO Max and it's good to go.
Well, yeah, but I need to be done by 3:30, which means I need to start the movie by like noon.
All right.
You got plans, DJ. Get out of it.
I'm a very schedule-oriented person, which is how I keep the show on the rails.
Yeah,
Doug, this show's never been on the rails. What are you talking about right now?
Okay, at least close, adjacent to or in the vicinity of the rails.
The train is like off the track, smoking on the side of the ditch, and Doug's like, "No, we got this on the rails here. I conduct this thing like a T."
Yep. All right, quarterback rankings. Let's take a look at this nonsense. Lamar Jackson, number 1 over Patty Mahomes. Kyler. Jalen Hurts already in the number 9 spot. What happened to wanting to see how he did?
DJ didn't do these rankings, though.
Say what?
Patrick Mahomes isn't number 1, so DJ didn't do these rankings.
That's true.
I know it's at 12, but Matt Ryan's still too high. It's without Julio. That Matt Ryan is a shell. Like
Just wait for Russell Gage to go off today.
Probably, yeah, but not as a receiver because Matt Ryan cannot throw anymore. I don't know what's going on, but he's not lobbing up to Julio. He's not complete passes.
We have a Michael Sicoli bomb. Mike Gesicki, Devontae Parker, and Jakeem Grant all ruled out for the Dolphins.
So that puts Mac Hollins, maybe Antonio Callaway you see a little bit. Malcolm Perry lining up out there. Lynn Bowden becomes that, semifinals darling that everyone wants him to be. But it means that you can confidently play the Patriots defense.
So DJ, you never buy into Tua, but here's Jalen Hurts at 9. Why?
Well, because I like. Shut up, Doug. Jalen Hurts looked really good in his game and a half. He looked good against the Saints, who have probably one of the top defenses in the league, probably number 2.
Best secondary, I would say.
Okay, well, he looked good against them, and he gives you that bonus of he could potentially run for 75 yards or so.
I don't think he's that fast.
I don't think he's fast either. He's a smart runner. Patrick Mahomes isn't fast, and I pound the over every week on rushing yards by Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I guess so.
You don't have to be fast to run the ball well.
But Mahomes has better field awareness than Jalen Hurts does.
Jalen Hurts had 18 carries for 106 yards last week. I just want to throw that out there real quick. That gets him well inside the top 10 in my mind.
What was the stat?
18 carries for 106 yards with no touchdown. So take the passing part out of it, where you might need to throw some more against Arizona, a defense that's been beat week after week. It's like Lamar Jackson from last year without the crazy touchdown efficiency. If we're going to get that rushing volume, that gets it done in fantasy. Honestly, real life, he could play poorly because he could be James Winston, but if he runs, it makes it all worth it.
The thing I think that Peterson is really good at is taking unknowns and maximizing their value. And I think that's what we saw last week, whereas now there's the film on what Hurts does well, and teams can try to take that away from him. So that might be a situation where you see somebody like Arizona be able to do that, or spy him, or do something to kind of slow him down.
Isaiah Simmons would be the guy to do that.
100%, because he's faster than anyone on the field.
I maintain I don't think the Cardinals' defense is slow.
They're not very good. No.
Yeah, Isaiah Simmons, that would be an interesting one.
He's amazing. I love him.
I love him.
Hey, you put a picture of him right there, but he's nowhere in the top 10. Thanks.
Well, it's because it's the bottom 12.
I understand the numbers, DJ. I see the numbers go up.
Daniel Jones isn't playing this week either.
Yeah, okay. I did.
Where's the red, DJ? Put some red in there.
What's up, Chris?
Oh, you need to put red over it, DJ. You said that's what your thing was now.
Sorry, Chris.
I'm sad now.
Why is Baker so low?
Because the Giants' defense has been pretty good.
And Baker Mayfield is Baker Mayfield.
James Bradbury's on COVID.
Okay.
James Bradbury's on COVID.
That is worth noting that he will be out for this game. Yeah. I mean, it's once again, I'm also low on Baker this week because I think the Browns take that early lead with the rushing game. I don't think they can slow that rushing attack. So, yeah, I don't think they need to air it out. But no Bradbury is a big.
Doug, you're a Gardner Minshew guy, if I remember right. Are you still buying Gardner Minshew? If you're in a fantasy league going into next year, are you keeping Gardner Minshew, or are you looking to cut bait at this point?
I am probably – they've made it clear that they're going to move on from him. So I would say I'm probably willing to cut bait. I like him, but unless Jacksonville out and out cuts him and he gets another chance somewhere else, then – if he's going to stay in Jacksonville, I'm pretty well cutting bait on him.
Who's Jacksonville's quarterback next year then?
Not on the roster. He's in college right now.
Gotcha.
He's
so
taking
Trey Lance.
Totally. All right. We got to get through the running backs. We got a minute. Click.
Take us to commercial, and then we'll come back.
I'm good with that.
Okay, fine. We'll do it your way.
Doug, we're off the rails again.
I know it. Gosh, dang it. People have no respect for organization. Located in the Belgium neighborhood of 7th Street in Moline, Clint's Drafthouse Pizza and Grill is home to some of the Quad City's best food and drink specials. On Sundays, there's no better place to be. Clint's is serving up 75-cent wings and $4 Bloody Marys all day. And your favorite team playing in those out-of-market games? You'll never miss a second of the action on one of their 10 screens with NFL Sunday Ticket. And after you've had your wing and bloody fix, finish your football watching experience off with one of their famous Quad City style pizzas. And folks, they know pizza. They've been spinning QC style pies for the last 22 years. So make Clint's part of your Sunday football routine. Clint's Drafthouse Pizza and Grill, 7th Street in Moline. Who doesn't need a solid handcuff on their fantasy squad? Grab a bite to eat at Clint's Drafthouse while watching the noon games, then head on over across the Moline Rock Island border to the Corner Tap for some libations during the 3 o'clock games. Every Sunday is fun day at the Corner with $3 tall boys, Bloody Marys, Jack Daniels, and $2 PBR drafts. Head to the Corner Tap, 4018 14th Avenue, Rock Island, to get into the end zone. Rock River Fitness, located at 3416 Blackhawk Road in Rock Island, offers a wide variety of classes starting as low as $8 per class and just $10 for specialty classes. With classes that include different yoga, Zumba, cardio, fusion, and strength training, Rock River Fitness has a little something for everyone and at a crazy affordable rate. Find them on Facebook, the MindBody app, or visit their website, rockriverfitness.com, and start planning your next fitness class. Rock River Fitness, where fitness is fun.
Doug, we're going off the rails on this crazy train. Come on, keep singing, Doug.
That's the only line I actually know.
That's the only line anyone knows. Don't feel bad. There's no other lyrics actually to that song. That's all that it is.
Well, not that you could ever make out what Ozzy said anyway.
No, we've heard him speak coherently many times.
Yes. All right. Running back ranks. Henry, Kamara, Dalvin, Chubb.
DJ, why is he got slaughtered last week?
Hold on. Baker is at like 20 because the Giants' defense is good, but Chubb is at 4 because the Giants' defense is good?
We just established that they're going to run the ball to get a lead. We just established this, Douglas.
Yeah, with that in mind, I'd be putting Chubb ahead of Cook personally. Not that that's a decision anyone was making. He was lining up both.
Chubb ahead of who?
Cook. I'm not worried about Cook, but I'm a little bit worried about Cook against Chicago. They slowed him down last time they played, so
I hope they shut him down again.
They've shut him down consistently the last 2 years, which is weird. I think he's due for a breakout game.
Yeah, I wouldn't. He's the type of talent. He's matchup proof. You're lining him up no matter what.
And last week feels like it could have been a dead cat bounce for the defense. They just needed something to get excited about. But we've seen the last 4 to 5 weeks that defense has not had that consistent swagger that they need. With Khalil Mack being beat up, there's every reason to believe that everything is going to get slowed down because Mack, when he is dominant, that defense works. When he's not, that defense doesn't work because they don't have Eddie Goldman this year, and that team is very vulnerable right up the middle.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Swift, DJ. Why? Why do you believe in DeAndre Swift, DJ?
Because I believe in America.
Oh, DeAndre Swift is America? He wears that little American flag right on the back of his helmet next to the Riddell sign?
Yep.
Okay, I gotcha.
I don't know if you guys see, if you're looking at the screen, just a Shefty bomb. Ezekiel Elliott is out and will not play today.
Oh, that's going to make me tilt so ridiculously hard right now. Okay.
So we have no Ezekiel Elliott today.
Now I got to go mess with my DraftKings lineup again. I just looked at that because I had Mick Gesicki in that DraftKings lineup, and I was looking at replacing him.
Okay. Well, when we get to quick questions later, maybe I'll say my dilemma. That's
yes.
Okay.
Guys, I gotta go. Chris
I ruined DJ.
I mean, that's not hard, but still.
Oh my Lord!
All right.
Wow.
So Tony Pollard, where would Tony Pollard then?
I mean, he didn't look bad last week against Cincinnati, so I would put him. He would go on this page, and obviously Damian Harris also out this week, so
You'd jump him over Jeff Wilson, probably, right?
yeah, I would put him. He would be like 21-20.
Yeah, it's the tough match against San Fran, but that's 18 plus is guaranteed, and that's valuable. And he might be on your wire right now if you're in a league without Fab, where there are agents. Let's take a quick look, right now. Already checked hours, you don't. But if the league owner was not holding a handcuff like they should have at this point of the year, then take a look.
All right. Well, say you're in a fantasy league. Here's something I've always wondered, and I'm sorry, Doug, we're getting off topic. If you're in a fantasy league, are you gathering your handcuffs just in case right now, or are you trying to get guys that you think could have long-term value for next year?
I think if I'm still alive, I'm trying to
Right.
have handcuff guys. Because winning this year means you play for free next year, essentially. And it's more important to win now than it is next year.
But it's fantasy, though. You want to have that value, though, there, right?
Right. Yeah, no, I understand, but I think you want to protect yourself. And I think that
I get it.
I'm not gobbling up handcuffs in week 15, but I'm gobbling up handcuffs in week 8.
Yeah. So that's your barometer? Is it week 8? Sorry, you can go ahead, Michael.
Or just trade deadline area.
Okay.
I have Aaron Jones in a league, and I traded a second round pick just to have the insurance of having Jamal Williams.
Yeah, I sent a distant fourth for Devontae Booker 2 weeks ago, and he's not even a really back when maybe we thought we had a handcuff, and even as someone who's always disliked Devontae Booker ever since Denver, I was
Right.
like, it's one of the year. Like if my guy goes down, I have an immediate plug-in. It's in redrafts. I've been holding. I made a trade I swapped handcuffs Gio Bernard for Jamal Williams a while ago. I've been holding. Who was it? I've been holding. Excuse me. Latavius Murray all year as the Alvin Kamara owner.
Right.
I drafted him in the round. He has not played a single week. I am content with that, with spending that pick.
That's smart.
Because if they go down, it's a top play, and you can't risk your opponent getting that and you losing a piece of it.
So is Devontae Booker kind of like this year's I'm blanking on the name, the guy who spelled Gurley last year during the playoffs, who just absolutely destroyed people? He was a former Broncos guy. Yeah. No, I'm talking about last year when he was.
CJ Anderson.
Yeah, CJ Anderson, who was left for dead and looked like he was 500 pounds of just man out there running over people. Is that what Devontae Booker is now? Guy left for dead, just gets second chance at life.
The difference is CJ Anderson used to be, but Booker's never been good. We've never seen but Booker's a better pass catcher. So I mean, if you give him a 3-down role, or even, if Jacobs was out, you could play him in a pinch, and that's the mindset. It's always having a starter available if your guys go down. That's my mindset with having a handcuff, and he's the lowest end of that, I think, still. But yeah, I mean, I've been holding Tony Pollard as the Zeke owner in my dynasty as well for 2 years now. So same mindset.
Speaking of Todd Gurley, why has he fallen so hard, DJ? It felt like just a couple of weeks ago, people were really buying into him because he kept falling into the end zone. Now he hasn't fallen into the end zone very often.
His usage rate's gone way down. They've used a lot of you expected Brian Hill to be the guy. It's turned out to be Ito Smith. And then as Matt Ryan struggled to throw the ball without Julio Jones, he's seeing a few more people in the box. That's why you're seeing Calvin Ridley catch a few more touchdowns even without Julio, is because he's seen a little bit more one-on-one coverage. So a lot more boxes. The usage rate's gone way down. I do think this is a potential bounce back week for Gurley against Tampa Bay, though.
That Tampa Bay run defense has been tough and been stout. So
I think you've got a situation where I see him being able to fall into the end zone this week.
Yeah, you could do it at any point.
Jordan had asked earlier about Lynn Bowden in the RB2 situation, and with all those receivers out, if he's RB eligible in your league, I would definitely consider him as RB2. Just because I think he'll see a lot more targets this week.
You've got Gus Edwards on here. Would you play him in the flex if you had the starter
Dobbins?
As well? Yeah, Dobbins as well.
I'd be a little nervous, but yeah, Dobbins' usage was really good. Against Cleveland, but Gus Edwards was able to get in the end zone. So if they're going to continue using Edwards as the goal line back, I'm willing to start him in the flex.
I mean, I think he sees that 40% of around 40% snaps. It's a timeshare at the end of the day. I mean, I don't think Dobbins takes the 70-80% role we all want him to. Gus is going to be involved. He could fall in the end zone. Jacksonville can't guard the run. The Ravens should take a lead here. I think Gus will have a lot of garbage time touches. I really like Gus Edwards this week.
I think the unfortunate thing with like Edwards and banking on him getting goal line touches is some of those goal line touches that he got last week and was able to convert against Cleveland are going to turn into read options and touchdowns for Lamar Jackson or touchdowns for Mark Andrews. So you're really being a goal line back in Baltimore doesn't really mean anything. So it's a risk, but it's like that conversation we had earlier where you're starting the guys with the higher ceiling, and Gus Edwards, you don't want to leave if he scores 2 touchdowns again, like he did against Cleveland, and all of a sudden you have a guy who scores, 15 to 17 on your bench. So he would be the take a risk type flex start.
So you would risk rushing Lamar. I know he's Lamar, but you would take a risk rushing Lamar with Myles Garrett on the field?
I'm just saying, no, that's what I'm saying is they didn't do it last week, but that's what it's going to turn into.
But with Lamar rushing, there's that danger that Garrett gets him, right?
Right.
I gotta imagine also Tony Pollard shoots into the top 20.
Yeah, Tony Pollard definitely top 20 now.
Doug, DJ got a bear on here for you.
You got the bear on here for us.
Not for long. You got another
All right. Let me have my last 3 weeks of Coley.
Doug's like that meme of Wolverine stroking the picture, and it's a picture of Allen Robinson.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That's accurate.
I'm glad to see Terry McLaurin up here. I'm glad we're all in on the same page about Terry McLaurin. I've seen a lot of slander about him recently, to be honest.
Reek's too high.
Brendan Ayuk, why isn't he higher, DJ? Everybody's in love with him right now. The usage is through the roof. Why aren't you putting him up just a little bit higher? Is it just they're more known at this point?
Yeah, I really like the other guys a lot better. And Jefferson and Thielen both were able to, in Chicago, both have very viable wide receiver 1 games. I'm like Sicoli. I'm infatuated right now with Terry McLaurin, especially against Seattle.
Yeah.
With Julio officially out, I might have bumped down Calvin Ridley a little bit, but not enough for Ayuk to pass him up.
Well, I think Adam Thielen kind of benefited in that first meeting with Chicago by one ridiculous catch.
Yeah.
That ended up being a touchdown. The rest of the game, he was pretty shut down right up until the game really got out of hand late.
Jameis Winston's been placed on the COVID list this morning.
So now they have a reason not to play him.
Yeah, they were just looking for the reason.
Yep.
No, I like this list.
Ayuk gets the picture because he was originally 13, and I had to
Nope,
take.
you did wrong. Bad.
No, I had to take Julio out. So
wrong and bad.
Julio's been out since Tuesday. Don't even try that.
Doug, I've had a busy week.
Yes, I know.
Doug, just look at where Tyler Lockett is on this list and then tell DJ about it.
Oh.
Scanning.
Am I the only one that's too high?
Oh.
You what?
I think Tyler Lockett might be even too high. I mean, I'm fine with him at 22 because we have to weigh that. That's another thing. If you just went against Josh Allen, Josh Jacobs, play Tyler Lockett because he has that ceiling. But he's not been. I don't think he's been a wide receiver 2 since that game.
Yeah. Since his 50-yard blow up.
Yeah.
He's averaged 11 points a game, and that includes a 20-point game.
Yeah, it hasn't come, and I don't know if it's going to happen against Washington. It's. I mean, you can play him out there, but you got to know the risk.
There's also 2 more things on this graphic that should make Doug's head explode.
So why is T.Y. Hilton where he is, DJ, because looking at the DFS, like the rankings and things that they have, they're really down on him. I don't get it, especially after the last 2 weeks. Is it just they're thinking he's going to regress, or why do you believe in him? Why do others not?
It's been a lot of, I think that when guys do things in season where they're not good, and all of a sudden they blow up. Because we had this attitude for so long. Why we even talked about it on the show. Why isn't T.Y. Hilton good anymore? And then now he is good. And I think that we get into those streams where we think guys aren't good, and then mentally we still think they're not good, even though they are being good. So I think that's where some of the industry is with T.Y. Hilton.
Okay.
And I think I can maintain that Hilton's lost a step because the matchups have and will continue to be just fine. They're like, I mean, they've been. It's Tennessee. He's played well since he played Tennessee. It's the bottom 5 units. Since he played Houston, the bottom 10 unit. Vegas, it's about a 5. Now he plays Houston again. So, even if he's lost his step, it's matchups like these that put him right back on the radar. I'd play him over top.
Houston might be the worst secondary I've ever seen in football. It's just atrocious out there. Brent Grimes is their best player, and I used to really like Brent Grimes, but he can't play anymore, and it's just sad. And last week, T.Y. Hilton beat somebody so badly that he had to wait on a catch. It looked like a college play. He had to wait to catch the ball because it was a wounded duck because you know who threw it. But, I mean, it's one of those things where it just feels like T.Y. Hilton's kind of found something all of a sudden, and maybe that's won the trust of Phillip Rivers.
Do we want to do tight ends before or after the break, Deej? Because, we're there now.
We can go to the break and then
tight end lives matter, Doug.
I know.
Unlike kickers.
Yes. Don't let Linda hear you say that. Okay, here we go. Durham Remodeling has been serving the Quad Cities area since 1973. With nearly 50 years of excellence on their track record, you'll see why it's so easy to trust their experts when it comes to all your home improvement projects. Durham Remodeling's work is 100% guaranteed, so you can rest assured that you're getting the best service around. So call 309-786-6715 for all your roofing, siding, flooring, and windows and painting needs. That's Durham Remodeling, 309-786-6715. Hate mowing? We know Deej does. Need your lawn or business landscaped? Need your grass aerated or fertilized before the ground freezes? Need anything else yard related? Yard Barbers LLC is your hookup. And they aren't just good for your summertime yard blues. They work all year long so you can sign up for winter services for that annoying to do snow removal. Find Yard Barbers on Facebook at Yard Barbers LLC. Send them an email at yardbarbersqc@gmail.com or shoot them a text at 309-235-1595. We back.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Not Chris. He gone. All right. That's another thing you have, Hawkinson.
Chris,
I left because I saw that Travis Kelce was going to be number 1, so I left. It was under protest. I'm sorry, guys.
I like it.
You have the potential to perfect the Chris Collinsworth slide in, Chris. What was the question, Michael?
Well, I'm thinking Goddard this week. I had that decision all week between Fant, should have won him, and Ingram and Dallas Goddard. And I'm leaning Goddard, and you're making me feel good about it. But, and I mean, tight end is that landscape after 3, but 4 just, I don't know why it's in my eyes like it's like a sunbeam. It feels weird. It feels a little bit high. I don't know why.
The Cole Kmet could be a sneaky play, though, because he's so low in DFS.
He's been coming on. He's been a big DFS darling for the last 3 weeks, and it's been on-off with their hit. But I
think Mitch wants to get him more involved, so it might be the perfect time.
Yeah, and there's a potential Jimmy Graham's even inactive, which will mean a few more snaps for him as well.
And he's played well. This is still a rookie tight end in a terrible offense as well. What Cole Kmet's done, I think it's overlooked. He's played very well since his arrival. That's something that makes him a really interesting pick in like dynasty startups.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's figured out the truck stick if nothing else.
Well, I think that, like you're saying, Michael, people are going to be doubting him going into next year because they didn't put up the big numbers. You could look at TJ Hawkinson and get the exact same feeling there. People discounted what he did because he only had one good week all of last season. This week, he's one of their most consistent performers at tight end, so it's a great place to be at to be buying into Hawkinson when nobody else is really feeling that right now.
Yeah, and I reluctantly sold him back in like October, and now I feel terrible because I had the locked-in star of Noah Fant. So whatever, but I'm over it. It's okay.
Those Iowa tight ends are going to get you every time.
Don't throw my green.
Iowa, the real tight end, you.
Yeah, it is.
Shots fired at Mr. Wrangle. Page 2. Is there page 2?
Sorry, I was making bets.
No, Mick Gesicki. We've already established that.
Yeah, no Mike Gesicki. He was just ruled out. Okay,
No.
Bite me.
This list makes me throw up, DJ. I know you had to put it together, but look at this. Just look at this tire fire.
Irv Smith is so disrespected. It's not even funny, but it's all right. I'm okay.
Well, he's fallen behind Goddard now. They're even referring to him in Philadelphia as the second tight end. So, I mean, it's just, you're right. It's a tragedy that it happened, but it's happening, and it's going to probably remain that way.
Wait, for Irv Smith?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Ertz.
Oh, no. I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
Ertz as well as I can, but
Yeah.
Irv
Smith, yeah.
Jordan Akins was one basketball somehow I dropped a catch from a solid like 14-point day, and Irv Smith's a much better player than that. So I think he's a top 12 option this week, honestly. But he's my DFS pick. I'll get into it a bit, but yeah, that's it. I do like it. I refuse to pick Akins as well. I think he's way too high.
Tell us about Jacob Hollister, because I don't really know what's going on with that whole situation.
Washington hasn't been great against the tight end. He is the number one tight end with Olsen out. So, I mean, like you said, tight end's wasteland. And if you don't have one of those maybe top 17 guys, you're really hoping for a guy to get in the end zone.
It's a near split with him and Disley. I mean, you could really go either way. It was 51% of snaps versus 41.9%. If I had to take a pick, I think I'd take the athleticism of Disley. But yeah, you're just picking hairs at that point. If you're playing Will Disley in your semifinals, I'm shocked that you got there.
Hey, you can probably stream the tight end position, especially this year, if you don't have one of the like major guys, and you had somebody like, say, Logan Allen or somebody that just burns you every time you play.
Logan Thomas, you're right, yeah. You're thinking about quarterbacks.
I am.
Yeah, fun fact, in my college league where I'm the number one seed, got at the finals, for this week with Henry, I had 1 week where my tight end scored more than 8 points. It was Tyler Higbee that blow up a week too. Every other week under that. Tight ends don't matter. I'm sorry. I like them. I still like having them in the league. Unless you get the wall, unless you get the Kelsey, the Kittle was playing. Don't pick till like 12 rounds.
Yeah. So talking about like drafting for next year, like say you're in a redraft league next year, are you going to try and grab tight ends early because it's such a wasteland, or do you wait until like round 12, like you're saying?
Travis Kelce's a first-round pick.
Well, yeah, that's probably a given, but are you going to be taking him in the first round?
Yeah.
Well, I know you are, but are real people going to be taking
Sane
him in the
people.
first round?
Yes. Yeah. Travis Kelce has to go in the first round.
Travis
Kelce's likely going to lead the entire league in receiving this year.
Yeah, I know. He's more of a wide receiver. He's scoring like a wide receiver.
Yeah, he plays tight end.
Give you even better.
Yeah, he plays the shallowest position.
It's always about positional advantage. So once you get the Kittle, you get the We all thought Mark Andrews, but these mid-round tight ends are always a hit or miss. The Waller's legit. I'm sold on Waller. Kelsey and Kittle's definitely still in there. Those 3 guys, and then after that, you just punt because it's a position. Once you go beyond the absolute elite, the people we know are going to be great, you're taking a maybe, but at that point, you could just stream tight end, and I'd rather take a shot on a running back or wide receiver in the 4th, 5th round, 6th.
If I'm sitting at 12 pick in redraft next year and Kelsey is still on the board, I'm taking Kelsey, and then at the turn, I'm taking Kittle, and I'm asking for my trophy.
Well, I won't do that, but I'll instead of the trophy, I'll just laugh at you and then take a running back right after that. But
I wouldn't actually do that, but
I would take
especially because the only redraft league I'm in doesn't have tight end as a flex. It's only wide receiver, running back.
Also, a little not quite breaking news, but kind of breaking news. Mark Ingram is a healthy scratch this week. Gus Edwards.
This is an interesting question that came in the comment section. Where would you draft Robert Tonyan?
Next year or
next year? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd want to see what pieces they add to that offense primarily before I would make that decision. I like how much trust Rodgers has put in him. I know it's hard to win the trust of Rodgers. So I like him going forward. I just have to know what other weapons are going to be there around him.
I see a comment on the message board about I wouldn't really, and I don't know if this is regarding my Kittle comment or Jordan's Travis Kelce in the second any earlier is absurd. I believe that Travis Kelce would be wide receiver 3 right now. So not really sure where you would be passing up points at wide receiver because you're getting far and above the tight end one.
It might have been a response to taking 2 tight ends there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's a legitimate response. I was kidding and said something stupid, so it's okay.
We know you're going to say those things though, DJ. So
Yeah,
we're
okay with that.
we plan on that. Yeah.
We're used to it. All right, so let's go to commercial. On the other side, then we will let Michael talk for all the DFS stuff, and then we will do the inactives, and that'll give us time to work on the inactives because I'm sure nobody's done that yet. All right, and here we go. Football season is just underway or just finishing up, and if you spend Sundays watching football anywhere but Vance Pizza Pub and Grill, you've been doing it wrong. Vance Pizza Pub and Grill, 3333 North Harrison Street in Davenport, is the best place to catch all your favorite games, and there is still time to make it part of your Sunday routine. Start your meal off with their famous McGuire's original nachos or bready nuggets, then ask about one of their original QC-style pizzas. Or be your own quarterback and call an audible and create your own. The Vance crew will make sure that your play call hits pay dirt every time. Vance Pizza Pub and Grill, 3333 North Harrison Street in Davenport. Come get served. Located in the Belgian neighborhood of 7th Street in Moline, Clint's Drafthouse Pizza and Grill is home to some of the Quad City's best food and drink specials. On Sundays, there's no better place to be. Clint's is serving up 75-cent wings and $4 Bloody Marys all day. And your favorite team playing in those out-of-market games? You'll never miss a second of the action on one of their 10 screens with NFL Sunday Ticket. And after you've had your wing and bloody fix, finish your football watching experience off with one of their famous Quad City-style pizzas. And folks, they know pizza. They've been spinning QC-style pies for the last 22 years. So make Clint's part of your Sunday football routine. Clint's Drafthouse Pizza and Grill, 7th Street in Moline.
All right, so we're all talking about semifinals this week. The DFS does not have a playoff, so whether it worked out for you, whether it didn't, DFS is here for you. So this week, I am looking at a whole bunch of guys. Jalen Hurts, I think, is a smash play this week. He finished last week as the QB 13 with those aforementioned 18 rushing attempts. That's 100. He had over 100 rushing yards. I expect him to be near that mark again. I think his legs are what makes Hurts an attractive quarterback prospect, and the Eagles know it. They're going to let him do it. They're going to need to against the Cardinals because this could be a boat race. He's going to be a somewhat higher owned guy as kind of the hot thing right now. He was directly owned in 7% of leagues as of yesterday, but I'm still lining him up there. $5,900 is not an expensive price to pay. I think you also go Drew Brees on the other side there, like we talked before. Same concept of game scripts. We saw Tua last week with no weapons beat that defense to the tune of like 28 fantasy points, and Brees could do about the same. Over at running back, I'm liking this ton of guys. I'm paying up for Alvin Kamara, and paying up isn't even the right term. I mean, normally this is an $8,000+ guy. We're talking now at 7,400. Drew Brees with no Michael Thomas will target Alvin Kamara to no end. He's not someone I mentioned in my article, but that was also before the Michael Thomas news, and he's someone I'm plugging in there. At running back, I think Kenyon Drake was going to be a good play. I'm a little bit more apprehensive because I thought Chase Edmonds would miss, and I thought that the receiving work would add to his ceiling. Without that, it might be a little bit more shaky, but either way, I think he projects to be a good upside play like we saw at the end of last season. He started to come on his own in the last few games. Raheem Mostert has been a nice boom bust I like in DFS at $5,800 because we were worried about his inactive streak, and he's definitely could finish with 0 touches. We know how the 49ers failed, but Dallas allows everything to the running back. They're currently, I believe, the worst rushing defense in football, and they got gouged each week, and Raheem Mostert is an electric back. If he stays on the field, he's going to be a top 20 back. We talked all show, so I won't touch on it too long, but Terry McLaurin is due for a big bounce back, especially with Dwayne Haskins throwing the ball. Seattle's allowed 295 passing yards per game. It was 310 before they played the Jets last week. But Dwayne Haskins has targeted McLaurin on 26% of his attempts. That's up 6% from Alex Smith. And I think it's a bit of a downgrade for J.D. McKissick as much as an upgrade for Derek McLaurin. And I think that's how we're going to see Washington play that game. Irv Smith is a smash play for me, as I mentioned last week, where Jordan Akins was my play. I'm targeting the Chicago defense. It's where they're so good everywhere else. They've allowed a lot to the tight end. Irv Smith is a very talented player. Kyle Rudolph's inactive. He didn't even play a ton of snaps last week as he came back from his own injury. I think that's those snaps jumped. I think the opportunity jumps, and he's going to get in the end zone. Let's see. On the cheaper end, if you want to go on the lower end, I think, as I mentioned before, Danny Amendola has really outperformed, I think, everyone's expectations when he signed a 1-year, $6 million deal in the offseason. Now he faces against Tennessee at $4,000, a cheap play. He's only projected owned in about 2% of leagues. He's a PPR guy, and saw 7 targets last week. That was only 3rd on the team. But with Stafford knocked up, I think he throw a lot of balls close to the line of scrimmage. Amendola's been working his way back from injury himself, so he could be around. He could jump 10, 15% of snaps like he was doing earlier in the year. I think you can count on him for 10 to 15 points and being a kind of stable play in maybe not the deepest of tournament plays, but as a getting 15 points as a cheap option with a low ownership is always nice. And finally, tight end for a cheap option. I always like Jared Cook because the Chiefs have, and Deej could talk to it all day, the Chiefs cannot guard the tight end. They've struggled. We saw Mike Gesicki destroy them in a half. Jared Cook has kind of had an on-off year. He played better with Breeze in the beginning of the season. And with no Michael Thomas, there's a lot of volume to go around here. I'm pretty confident in playing Jared Cook there. I like him as a stack with Drew Brees if you wanted to go that route. $3,400. They've allowed the second most points to the tight end, only behind the Jets. That's since the bye. And Cook, the Saints are a smart team. Sean Payton will get the ball to the right matchup, and that's Jared Cook. Also, I just noticed an editor's note on my Minnesota Vikings play. Is anyone against the Vikings against Chicago? Because that's also a cheap play. Mr. Trubisky's not going to go another week without an interception. I'm sure we can talk about that.
So here's an interesting addition to what you had said about DFS has no semifinals. So if you're playing in a semifinal that you're a little nervous about winning, here's an interesting thing you might do is take your opponent's lineup, if salary allows, enter them into a DFS, pay $1 or so, That way, if you lose, you might win some money.
But risk averse. That's not a bad idea. I never really thought about that. But yeah.
Who's your
I hate that idea.
huh?
I hate that.
Yeah, you hate spending money, dog. Come on.
I'm an old man.
Who's your stack this week, Michael?
So I like a lot of stacks this week, actually. The one I'm going with is, as I'm playing Jalen Hurts, I don't feel the need to stack Hurts with anyone. But if I was going to stack, I would go with my quarterback and my tight end of Drew Brees and Jared Cook. I think Brees has a solid day. I think we're talking like 20 to 24 fantasy points, like an efficient touchdown type of game. I think Kamara's good for one in the air. I think Jared Cook's good for one or two, and that's where I think I'd play him.
Would you? I know you say no every week, but I'm asking anyway. Are you bringing that back to Kansas City in any fashion?
Yeah, I am playing Tyreek Hill. I've done that for the last few weeks. It served me well. It's the type of guy. Yeah, you're paying literally the wide receiver 1 price for a wide receiver in DFS, but
yeah,
if he continues to perform as the wide receiver 1, I know the Saints defense is tough. They were beat last week, and there's no one on the Saints. There's not pretty much no one in the NFL that can guard Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I had considered the stack of Hurts and Jalen Reagor, and I just couldn't stomach it. For some reason, and so I actually went with the Mahomes Kelsey stack. I decided to pay up with over there, and then I'm bringing it back with Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to choose a Saints wide receiver, and I did this early in the year, and it's probably like my favorite DFS pick of the year when I played Marquez Callaway, but there's not much left on Sanders, and he could do it. And if I think Brees is going to do it, he's got to get it some wide receivers. It can't just be Kamara and Cook. I think it's going to take. I don't know. I don't hate it, but Emmanuel Sanders is a shell of himself at this point. If I had to choose a Saints wide receiver to play, it would probably still be him. I'm not going to take the shot on Tre'Quan Smith. I'm not going to play like an off. Like I don't know. Honestly, Marquez Callaway's been hurt, so I'm not even sure who else is behind Emmanuel Sanders and Tre'Quan Smith at this point. But it's not pretty. Let's just put it like that.
All right, Chris, we ready for inactives?
Take that commercial break, Doug.
How about I'll start reading them and then I'll catch up with you.
All right. Sounds
so
good.
In the Cowboys-Niners game, Deebo Samuel, Ezekiel Elliott officially out. Seattle and the Washington football team. Washington will be without Alex Smith. So do we know who their backup is? Is Kyle Allen back healthy?
It's Dwayne Haskins.
Right, but who's going to be the backup to Haskins?
Kyle Allen's on the IR, I'm almost certain. So
Yeah,
that's going to be it. Oh, Taylor Heinicke, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, he was on the practice squad. He got bumped up. It's Haskins' team if Haskins is
right. So they will also be without Antonio Gibson and Lamar Miller. So J.D. McKissick, Peyton Barber will be running back there. Bears and Vikings. The Bears will be without Buster Screen, Deion Bush, and Jalen Johnson. And then the Vikings have no Kyle Rudolph or Eric Kendricks. The Patriots are without Damian Harris and Dante Moncrief. Somewhere Nate tears up with no Dante Moncrief. And the Dolphins will be without, as Michael reported earlier, Parker, Grant, and Gesicki. And the Ravens will be without Ingram, Jimmy Smith, and Marcus Peters.
And Myles Gaskin will also miss on that.
And Myles Gaskin, yeah, who's on the COVID list. And Chris is frozen. Oh, nope, he's just not moving.
He's silent.
Silent but deadly.
I'm using the NFL.com inactives, so the screen keeps shouting at me the whole time with ridiculous nonsense, and I hate the NFL.com website. If they caught on fire and they had to restart with another website, I would be fine with that.
Tell us how you really feel.
Okay. Well, next time I will, Doug. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
So, wait, is there other ones that we need to cover? Did we get Jacksonville, Baltimore?
Jimmy Graham. Yeah, I got Jacksonville, Baltimore. Jimmy Graham is officially active. So the dollar I put on Demetrius Harris to score a touchdown in that game is now wasted. DeForest Buckner will play for the Colts. Rashad Penny is going to be active for the first time this year for the Seahawks. So
Right.
that's a big addition for them. Calais Campbell also out for the Ravens.
Also, Josh Gordon expected to make his debut, or not debut, return.
And I think we would be a slightly remiss if we didn't announce that active for the Indianapolis Colts will be Rigoberto Sanchez. So he had cancer surgery a couple weeks ago, and he'll be active this week. So mad ups to that guy.
Yeah.
Doug, we got a lot of questions, so let's take it to commercial, and then we'll come back with the final segment.
All righty. Play it.
Play that funky music, DJ Bag. Oh, it's a little too early.
Yeah.
I feel like that was going a little faster. The beat was a little quicker than normal. Did you speed that up in any way?
I did not.
Okay. Good enough. We are no longer a PG show, but we are still saying frick for fantasy's sake. Frick's Tap, that is. If the Davenport side is more your style for your football watching pleasure, head to Frick's Tap, 1402 West 3rd Street, where they have 20 beers on tap. Beer isn't your senior? That's okay. They have $3 U-Collets during all of the Sunday football games. Frick's has the NFL Sunday ticket on all 13 of their TV screens, so don't fret if your team is playing on the West Coast this week. So for Frick's sake, head into Frick's Tap today. It's Sunday, the best day of the week here at For Fantasy's Sake. You know what goes well with a football Sunday? A pulled pork Sunday from the Big Cheese, the official food truck of For Fantasy's Sake. If you're more into our Wednesday evening show, Short Yardage, last one this week, you might want something a little bit lighter as a bedtime snack. So try out their grilled cheese, which is just $5, and add a slice of ham for another $1 if you're feeling frisky. They travel all throughout the Quad Cities with their menu perfect for lunchtime or dinner time. So give them a follow on Facebook to see where they might be next and try their hamburgers, where you can make it a single, a double, or a triple for just $5, $7, or $9. The Big Cheese, bringing you Short Yardage every Wednesday night. Woo. All right, we're completely off the rails. I have no idea what we're doing. Questions.
DJ,
All right.
you got any trivia this week?
I do not.
Aw.
Lame.
I know.
You suck.
He knows.
Yeah, I know he knows. It's basically because we tell him like every 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's about right.
All right. Jake Dare wants to know Kiki QT, Jarvis Landry, or Marvin Jones?
Landry for me.
No Bradbury, I'm going to take Landry there. Even if it's low volume in the passing game, that's Bradbury being out is huge. That's an all-pro.
I like Kiki QT as long as he's healthy. I love what he brings to the table.
Landry 1, QT 2, Jones 3. Matthew Neville wants to know Hollywood Higgins or Manny Sanders?
Manny.
Manny.
Hollywood. 3 weeks of touchdowns. Why not?
Lone Wolf that. Give me the how.
Can't do it. I don't know.
All right. From Jordan, here we go. David Montgomery or Juju?
Monty.
They've looked good in the running game 2 weeks in a row. You got to go that way.
I'll take Mont. Yeah.
Cole Kmet or Gronk?
Komet.
Kmet.
Gronk will probably score a touchdown. I don't think Komet has really done that consistently.
That's tough. That's a really tough one. I think I'll go Komet. I just said, yeah, I'll go Komet.
Logan Thomas or Dallas Goddard?
Goddard.
Got it.
Got her.
Pick 2 of Gurley, Gio, Ahmed, Bowden.
Gurley and Ahmed.
I'll go.
Sure.
Sorry, go.
No, Gurley Ahmed is what I would go with too.
I
Except
go.
it's Gurley
Gurley.
on the sheet because somebody can't type.
Gurley.
I'll go Bowden Gurley.
Komet, Schultz, or Janu?
Komet.
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 I've trusted John Smith way too many times.
Yeah.
Actually, I was thinking Schultz just for the dice roll there. All right. Eifert, Jordan Reed, or Irv Smith?
I'm not allowed to answer this question, so I'll recuse myself.
This is the one that you're not allowed to answer?
Yeah, where I'm playing against Jordan in this game.
Okay.
I'm confidently taking Irv here. Yeah.
I'll go with Michael.
Sure. What's the worst that can happen except that Michael loses me DFS money? All right. There is a giant all caps reminder to Jordan to roll Tide.
That was a great game.
All right. Brad Spence wants to know Mostert or Ahmed.
Ahmed.
Mostert, confidently.
Yeah, I'd go with Mostert too.
This is talent here, Deej.
No, I'm saying Ahmed.
Yeah, we know you're wrong. All right. Cousin Bo. In PPR, Goddard or Russell Gage in the flex?
I'll say Gage.
I'll go with Goddard. Gage got off to a super hot start at the beginning of this year. He got banged up a little bit. He hasn't been the same since.
Slot tears up the Bucks.
I'll take Gage. I tend to lean receiver, running back, or tight end when I have the option.
Yeah, same. All right, in this TD heavy league, pick 2 of McKissick, Deontay Johnson, David Johnson, Kuti, or Pollard.
I'll say Deontay and Pollard.
Same. Definitely.
McKissick and Pollard.
McKissick and Deontay.
I'm a little bit worried with McKissick with Haskins in there. Alex Smith will love that check down. I don't know if Haskins knows the series.
I would assume that since he's not going to have very many reads out there, that guy's going to be his second read every time, or his bailout.
Possible. Yeah, I mean, touchdown heavy league.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
All right. Back in the PPR, pick 3 of Miles Sanders, James White, Jeff Wilson, McKissick, and Hunt.
Sanders, McKissick, and Hunt.
Same thing.
Sanders, McKissick, and White.
I'll go with the first 2. But Deej and Michael said.
Okay.
All right. Austin Hill, Dobbins, or Akers in PPR?
Got to go Akers.
There's very few situations I'm sitting Akers.
I'll go with Akers.
Same. And then comments from YouTube. We actually have we got comments on YouTube. Wow. One player you're willing to go with in Millie Maker.
I'm gonna go against what I just said on the Dobbins and Akers. I think Dobbins. I think my 2 things where I'm running risks there are Dobbins and Brandon Ayuk. I think those are 2 guys that I think their salaries kind of match up with what their return on investment will be.
Chris, do you have a name?
No, I was going to ask you guys what Millie Maker is.
It's a contest to make $1 million.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you're going to want the low-owned deep shot, or not even as much low-owned. I like the Dobbins pick. I will personally go with I'll play Alvin Kamara. I don't care how high owned he'll be in that 10 to 12 range, but it's quite the ceiling there. That's like a 13 reception ceiling.
If you grab the top guy, then it's really not that big of a deal. That if 100% of people own the guy who scores, or 99%, whatever, start the guy who scores the most points, you don't want to be in that 1%.
Yeah,
that's the time you don't want to be the contrary play.
It's a good way to psych yourself out. I've done that in weeks past where you look at the ownership like I don't want to do it. I think the same way you can make that same argument for Jonathan Taylor this week, who's going to be a big projected own, but it's Houston. It's the 2 weeks ago where you had to play Derrick Henry, you had to play Tyreek Hill. If you didn't, you're not winning anything. So if you think he's going to be that guy, which I think Alvin Kamara will be this week, all chips are in. Situations aside, yeah.
I'm still feeling T.Y. Hilton. I think that he's on a hot streak right now. Why not ride that and see where it takes you? Because in DFS, he's down the list a ways. He's not up there with the guys at the very top, and he's putting up very good production. So if that continues, then I think that's something where you could find value where other people aren't finding it.
I know he's still cheap on DraftKings, but he's like the FanDuel called on, and he's like $1,500 more expensive on FanDuel. It's really strange, but
yeah,
you don't normally see that difference.
And I will take Pollard because that's my bargain play for this week.
That's not a good one.
With Zeke out. All right, Deej, you got any more questions? Or are we going into the rapids?
Let's go into the rapid fires.
All righty, here we go. Top scoring pass catcher in San Fran, Dallas.
Ayuk.
It's hard to go against Ayuk.
Yeah, I don't think I can.
Okay, Ayuk it is. Tyler Lockett over under 10.7 fantasy points just to hurt me.
That was the number. Since his 50-point game, he's averaged 10.7 points a game. And that includes a 20-point game.
You're going to be hurt again. I'm going under.
I'll take the over.
I'll take the over. All right. What's higher? Dalvin Cook rushing yards, Adam Thielen receiving yards, or Justin Jefferson receiving yards?
I'll say Jefferson.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
Jefferson, what? That makes it worth it.
Justin Jefferson is going to feast because of Jalen Johnson being out and Buster Screen being out. That's the target that Minnesota really went after in the first matchup, was trying to get that kind of switch in the zones where they could really attack Buster Screen. So having him out makes that even more of a vulnerable matchup. I think Justin Jefferson is going to feast.
Buster Screen is terrible.
Buster Screen is very good if he's not getting flagged for holding.
No, he's not. He's not good. He's not good at all. Chris, you can cover guys better than him.
Well, if I got to hold as much as he does, then I would probably be pretty good too, Doug.
All right. Top scoring quarterback this week.
Lamar.
Hurts.
I don't buy the Hurts thing yet. I want to go with Kyler.
Give me Ben. God help me.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Doug.
All right. Truth Biscuit. Over under 2.5 passing touchdowns. Under.
Under.
He's due to show up and be Mitch Trubisky again, so let's go under.
Under. That's my mindset with playing the Vikings defense in DFS.
All right. More completions, Cam or Tua? Tua.
Tua.
All right. Most rushing yards in Jacksonville, Baltimore.
Dobbins.
Robinson. Yeah.
Robinson. Baltimore's defense has been surprisingly weak against the run for like several weeks. That's worth watching.
I was shocked to see that.
Michael, did you watch the Cleveland Baltimore game?
I did, yes.
So when they were talking about how it tied the record, the nine rushing touchdowns tied the NFL record for most. That's our Rock Island. That's where we're from. Well, where I'm from.
Okay, that's good to know. That. Okay.
Yeah, that is our area. ESPN missed the boat by telling everybody, which nobody would care, but they missed the boat telling everybody that the Browns had a practice squad player from Rock Island on their team.
I've been a Will Tye fan for the longest time because he went to Long Island, and the regional stuff really hits you when it's like actually like right there.
Yeah.
All right, where was I? Top scoring running back.
Henry.
I said it before. I'll go Kamara. 15 receptions. That's a good bet. I don't know what the line is, but I'll take the over on the receptions.
I think that Henry has too much of a tasty matchup to go away from that.
All right, more catches, Evans or Ridley?
Ridley.
Yeah.
Really.
Michael, what'd you say?
So I could see the comments in there. So football team, sneaky play. It's a good enough unit. So I think you could. I don't think Russell Wilson's been careless ever since the bye, so he has turned the ball over. It's still not something I'm targeting because I don't think Haskins is going to keep him in this game. He's going to throw picks and get that defense on the field way too much, and they're going to be tired. It's a good unit. So I always like playing talented defenses despite the matchup. I'm going to stay away from it. I think they're just on the field too much with Haskins probably throwing several turnovers. It's worth pointing out, by the way. I don't know if anyone saw it. Haskins is going to be using a college risk play calling sheet that you don't see that in the NFL. But maybe it changes something. I don't know. I've always held up hope for Haskins. But yeah, I'll avoid the DST.
Actually, I saw Lamar using it the other night.
RPO.
Yeah. I didn't see what was on it, but he was definitely using the wrist.
I think that was actually just toilet paper stuck to his arm.
Could be. All right. Have
we ever had a situation, though, like the Washington one where a guy got burned so ridiculously badly and now he needs to be there for his team to make the playoffs for them? Can anybody recall like a situation similar to that?
Mitch Trubisky.
No, I cannot.
I don't think. They don't. So normally teams don't rebound from that.
Yeah.
That's the NFC East.
Heard.
All right. Oldie but goodie. Will Leonard Fournette score today?
Yes.
No.
That's something I should have mentioned in my DFS segment. Everyone, that is a trap play. Do not get attracted to that $4,500 play. That is Atlanta, since week 8, has allowed the third least amount of points to the running back. I'm hands off of Fournette, especially if he ends up splitting passing with maybe Sean McCoy or even Keyshawn Vaughn, because Fournette can't pass protect. We know he can't catch. I'm hands off. No. He does not score.
All right. Derrick Henry, over under 20.5 fantasy points.
Over.
Over. That feels a lot high, but I'm going to take the over.
I'm not betting against him. Yeah, I'll take over.
Yeah, he's a monster right now, and he's going up against a very tasty matchup. So, yeah, he's going to eat.
All right. Jonathan Taylor, over under 100 rushing yards.
Under.
Yeah, I go under.
I'll go over. Houston's been that bad.
Taylor's been getting a lot more chances, so I really like what he's been doing lately. I'm going to go with over. Yeah.
Top scoring wide receiver today.
Tyreek.
It's always hard to choose against Tyreek. Yeah, I mean, I'll take Tyreek.
I'll go with Hopkins just because it's like the first week Doug and DJ didn't both say DeAndre Hopkins right out of the gate.
Darius Slay's out, I'm pretty sure. So that is you're playing Hopkins anyway. That's ceiling is higher.
DK. All right, more rushing yards, Hurts or Murray?
Kyler.
Right.
Hurts it is. Okay. Okay, I like this one. More receiving yards. The entire New York Jets team or Cooper Kupp?
Cooper
Cup.
Yeah, that's an easy one, Doug.
I still think it's funny we got a guy versus the Jets. All right, top scoring pass catcher in KC, New Orleans.
Tyreek.
You don't know. I'm gonna tilt over to Kelsey a little bit.
I figured this would be where you said Kamara. He does catch passes.
Okay, fine. I didn't. When we say pass catcher, I didn't really consider running back. We're saying weapon. What Kamara then? Kamara, Kelsey, Hill.
Yeah, I don't think that even as talented as Kumar is, that he's got to outcatch Tyreek Hill. So
Yeah, give me Kelsey, I guess.
yeah,
Chubb, over 100 yards and a touchdown? Question mark. So I'm going to say lock that in.
I'll say he'll get the touchdown, but not the 100 yards.
I think he'll get it. I think we'll get both.
I go under.
Thanks, Chris. All right, top scoring tight end today, DJ. You cannot say Kelsey.
Hawk.
Andrews.
Chris, please tell me you got something because I really am not sure about this one.
I love Hawkinson too. That's my problem. I was looking for a different name, but it's hard to go against Hawkinson right now.
I'll go. Yeah, I gotta go. Not Stafford, but yeah.
All right, over under 2.5 drops by Deontay Johnson.
I'll go under, hopefully.
Under.
I abstain.
Didn't an assistant coach in like the Pittsburgh organization say something about we need to run the ball more because you can't drop it or something along those lines?
I wouldn't be surprised. I didn't
Yeah.
see it.
Tomlin said if our guys can't catch the ball, we'll put somebody in there who can.
Good. This is what they did last week and still didn't work. But I'll go under. He'll have 2. We'll get 3.
I'll go over. I think it's in his head.
I will take under, I guess. All right. Wheel of Steelers wide receivers. Spin it. Who you got?
I'll take Deontay Johnson. I think he'll run the football today.
I'll still take Deontay. Yeah. He's had a lot of time to think about it. Maybe. I don't know.
I think Deontay Thompson's the only one you really can take because Chase Claypool has vanished off the planet.
That's because you quit calling him Deadpool Claypool.
I know. He died. He died for real when that happened.
All right. I'll take Deadpool there.
Yeah, Doug's gonna bring him back.
I am. I mean, he does have those regeneration powers.
Right.
All right. And then last one, Christmas related. What time does your family open presents?
Morning.
I'm talking like 9 to 10, Matt.
Yep.
Morning.
Breakfast and then presents.
Morning. Better question though. Do you give one present to open on Christmas Eve?
Yeah, it's always pajamas though.
Why would you open a present like Christmas Eve?
You get one for Christmas Eve. You get like the gift that everybody's like, let's get this one out of the way kind of gift.
Yep. It's always been pajamas for me. When I was growing up, we did Christmas at our house on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, this is the first year. I used to have it in my house as well, like 5-6 years ago. And the last few years I've been at my aunt's, and not going to be there this year. Obviously, playing it safe, but yeah, it just we do it all on Christmas Day. Christmas Day, get the Christmas music going, video going. It's a whole experience.
Yeah.
Get the kebab going.
Yeah, Christmas Eve was always for extended family, like your cousins and aunts and stuff, and then Christmas Day is for your household.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same way.
true that.
All right, that'll do it. So, just for a quick reminder, where was that at? We are still looking for folks. If you want to do Dynasty Football or the NBA, we are still looking for folks. If you want to send us a writing sample, we will look at it and let you know.
It's almost baseball season too, Doug.
Almost. When did pitchers and catchers report, Chris?
Oh, who
Usually
knows?
Valentine's Day.
Because DJ's in love with them.
I am.
Yeah, I knew it was like February. I wasn't quite sure when in February. All right, so we will have our short yardage Wednesday night. We will have a Week 16 show next week, and that will be it.
We'll have
Week 17.
We'll have something post week 16 to give away, autograph something, but that'll be not fantasy talk day. So
Correct. We are also. What did I send in the text message yesterday? How many Facebook likes do we have?
926, I think.
All right, so not close to 1,000, unfortunately.
No, I mean it's 923, which is 323 more than we had a year ago today. So
Exactly. 1 year ago today, we were at 600. So
we're ever growing on the Twitter. So
we appreciate everybody coming and hanging out with us all the time. All right. That will do it for us. We will see y'all on Wednesday. Until then, have yourselves a lovely week and good luck today in the playoffs.
Good luck, everyone.
Luck.